time now for something completely different. You could be forgiven for thinking that you were seeing things earlier in the week as London saw the arrival of a giant blue dead parrot. Well, the Norwegian blue parrot, which measures 15 metres from head to tail, arrived by lorry, how else, outside the iconic Tower Bridge. In homage to the famous and much revered Monty Python sketch, it marked the screening of their final show of a 10-day run at London's O2 Arena. John Cleese commented on the sold-out event by saying, "We're all touched that so many fans still want to see such old people perform." There you go, the one and only John Cleese. Well, somebody I know who's quite into Monty Python is Katura, the queen of the showbiz gossip.
Absolutely. I mean, John Cleese mentioned that no one wants to see people that old perform, but to me, they may be old, but they'll never be dated. You know, their brand of humour is so surreal and so slapstick, it's hilarious to watch. I remember in history class in secondary school, my teacher actually showed us what have the Romans ever done for us in order to inject some humour into the class, and it worked. I'll never forget that class.
And it helped your history lessons as well.
Absolutely.
You didn't know about the Spanish Inquisition.
No, I did not, no. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. I mean, look, I think we've got some Python material coming up. So come on, take us out of our misery. Come on, play, come on.
I'm lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He works all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. On Wednesdays I'll go shopping and have butterscotch for tea. Then today you'll go off to war. My God, I wish I was coming with you. Is your wife a goer, eh? Not I mean, that's not I mean, say no more. I beg your pardon. Your wife, does she go, eh? Does she go, eh? Who would have thought 40 years ago with all this sitting here doing Monty Python,
You can't beat it, especially the lumberjack song. I saw you tapping your toes to that.
I know, it's so infectious.
It is. It gets a little bit naughty further on down the line, but I mean, there aren't any four-letter words. It just sort of sprays into very bizarre territory. I mean, it's extraordinary, though, that the Python started in the late 60s, early 70s, and it still endures. People still like it. I mean, what is it? What is the secret? Because it is nonsense.
Absolutely. I mean, you're completely correct. The first show was aired on the BBC in 1969. And for the fact that it has endured so long, I mean, I watch Monty Python. They are completely hilarious. And I think we've changed the format of modern day comedy, whereby, you know, we now have panel shows and stand-up comedians, and it's just not as funny anymore because I think it's just not funny, you know? It's quite rude, it's quite aggressive, we've changed the format so much that there's really nothing new to explore.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Monty Python, is that I said it was a bit naughty, rude with the lumberjack song. It's not rude as in four-letter words. It strolls into some... It is very silly. It does sort of stray into some mild, bizarre territory. But the point about it is that if you start singing that song, people start laughing. It's I mean, for example, there's a Ministry of Silly Walks. When people start imitating John Cleese doing the Ministry of Silly Walks sketch,
we've all done that in front of the mirror.
Well, yes, not necessarily when we're sober either. But I mean, hopefully we'll get the Ministry of Silly Walks, that those who are not in the know will now be in the know. Having seen, there it is, the Ministry of Silly Walks. I mean, it's daft, but why? I mean, it's not just the fact that Monty Python is very British and people like it in this country. It's international. I mean, people kind of get it. They love it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's worldwide in its success, you know, and they had, I think it was a 10-day run that they were supposed to have at the O2. They had to add an additional 5 days onto that, so, you know, 1 down, 5 to go, because the show sold out in 45 seconds.
Yeah, and it'd be fascinating to actually look at the sort of profile of what the typical audience is.
I think the profile is, it's you know, the older demographic, most certainly, but we do have, I mean, you have people like me that watch it, you know, they've been exposed to it via older people in their lives, or, you know, elder people in their lives, I should say, and it's because it is so slapstick and you don't really have to think, you know, in order to enjoy it. It transcends generations, you know. I love it. My mother loves it. I think my grandmother loves it too.
Actually, I think that one of the few exceptions is my mother, because I do remember when I was about 7 or 8, going to the Odeon in Wood Green and being taken to see Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And I loved it. My mother just sat there stone-faced. It's like, what are you laughing at? Yes, what is this? And she thought it was very violent when the knights, you've got the two knights that are having a fight, and one of them cuts off the arms and the legs of the other, and the torso is sort of wriggling around saying, look, we haven't finished yet, I'm still alive, I'm talking to you.
I can't imagine that she'd enjoy modern comedy then, because it's far more violent than that ever was.
But it's interesting as well, though, that one of the Python members has died, Graham Chapman, and there is still this, as far as the surviving Pythons are concerned, whatever we do, you can't just look at us. You've got to bring Chapman into this as well, because he was part of the story. So even though he isn't here, there is always this remembrance of him built into the act.
Absolutely. I mean, there were lots of images shown of Chapman whilst they were performing, which I think is fantastic, to be able to pay homage to people that you've worked with and that you love dearly. They were effectively brothers. And when they went for their press conference, Chapman actually received the highest number of cheers, So people do remember them as a group, but then they also remember them individually for all the great work that they've gone on to achieve since then.
Yes, and it is phenomenal, and even if they don't perform again in the next 10 years or something, those DVDs will continue to sell.
Definitely.
Okay, Katura, as ever, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and gossiping. We've got plenty more things to talk about.
We always do.
We always do, but Katura, thank you so much. Now, just in case you joined us, you're watching This Day live here on Arise, and you stay with us because, of course, we're going to give you more coverage on the top story that we have been following since it broke, in fact, yesterday, and that was the downing of a Malaysian flight which was travelling from Holland to Kuala Lumpur, and unfortunately the plane came down on the Russia-Ukraine border.